Good afternoon and welcome to the Embedded Executive Podcast. My name is Rich Nass. I'm with Embedded Computing Design. I'm here this week with a very timely guest, Axel Sikora, who is the conference chairman for Embedded World. How you doing, Axel?
I'm fine, thanks, and thanks for reaching out.
I'm actually a little surprised you had time for me this week. We're only a few days before the biggest week of the year as far as Embedded World is happening. You must be pulling your hair out and going crazy, I would think.
The advantage is I don't have any more hair left, No, but indeed it's quite busy, but it's of course also important to let people know what we are doing and trying to make Embedded World even more attractive.
And I guess if it isn't done by now, it isn't getting done at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
So before we get into Embedded World, I want to make sure people know who you are. I said you're the conference chairman, but you're way more than that. So just on the Embedded World side, what are your responsibilities?
Well, basically, I'm staying on both legs. As you know, Embedded World is Embedded World Exhibition and Conference, and as you said, I'm chairman of the conference since 7 years now. And in parallel, I'm also speaker of the advisory board to the Embedded World Exhibition. So looking after both sides and trying to pull them also together.
And you only do this for fun because you actually have a full-time job outside of Embedded World, right?
Yes, full-time job is being a professor at Offenburg University, where I'm leading the Institute of Reliable Embedded Systems in Communication Electronics. So doing a lot of research about real-time, secure, wireless communication, and making my hands dirty. And therefore, it's also very good fun to be at Embedded World and leave our ivory tower, well, which already has some doors and windows, and get the smell of the global world. Yes.
Very good, very good. So Embedded World, what's why don't we start with the keynote? Who do we have delivering the keynote address?
Keynote this year will be held by Rich Remoncic, who is CEO of Microchip Technologies. Title of his speech will be Learning from the Octopus, Nature's Blueprint for Intelligence Everywhere. So Octopus having a lot of distributed edge AI in its tentacles, and that's its metaphor for the distributed intelligence that we currently see in many IoT systems.
Now, we talk about artificial intelligence pretty much every conversation I have with people in the industry. I assume it's the same with Embedded World. We're bringing artificial intelligence into the conference in a huge way, I would imagine.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, Embedded World really is a game changer, not only in the big world, in the world of the supercomputers, high performance computing, but also in the edge AI. So changing from static systems to adaptive systems, changing from smart systems to intelligent systems, and also making systems less predictable as a challenge. And as this is a game changer, helps to increase efficiency, helps to increase performance, but on the other side also includes risk. So there's a lot of things to discuss.
Now, I know with a lot of these events, especially one that's as established as Embedded World, you probably get way more submissions than you could possibly use. Is that the case here? And what is the process of culling them down to the best of the best?
Yeah, indeed. We already have a huge program, 218 hours of program in 3 days. So that's pretty dense. Nevertheless, in total, we got more than 600 submissions and selected below 50%, which is, I believe, a really low rate for such an industrial-driven conference. And we are, from year to year, we are happy that people continue to submit because, well, we academics, we know that it's usual to be disregarded, but for industrial people, it's maybe not so much used, and therefore we are very happy to get a continued stream of so many submissions. The process is very straightforward. People do their submissions until end of September. Then we have a program committee of around 50 persons, renowned persons, mostly from applied research, who are doing a pre-selection. Then we sit together 2 closed days with our steering board and compiled the program. So two-stage process, and compile a program of 81 sessions, 5 panels, 20 classes. So it's a lot of stuff to be organized, and always a challenge for all our brains, I can say.
Is there anything that's very different from last year to this year?
Yes and no. No, in that sense that we believe that the model of the last year or the last years has been very successful. So having all, our different tracks around the major topics, IoT and connectivity, embedded OS, safety and security, you name it. Edge AI, of course, I shouldn't forget. For this year, and this has been well proven, I believe, and very much also supported by audience. In addition to the normal sessions, we introduced a couple of years ago panel discussions at the end of each session. That means after each 3 presentations, we have a panel discussion with the 3 speakers, which typically is very lively and keeps many people from going to the coffee break or the lunch break, but staying in the room, which is good, of course. For this year, we, for the first time, have a application track, use case track. Up to now, Embedded World has been technology-driven only, but we felt that talking more about applications absolutely makes sense because there are so many vertical dependencies, number one. And number two, as you may know, we became more international. We had North America event, or 2 North America events. Better to say we had 3 Chinese events, and especially from the Chinese events, we've understood that these application tracks, these use case tracks, are extremely important and can be very attractive.
Yeah, I could certainly see the reason for that. For better or worse, embedded technology doesn't move that quickly. And I say better because it has to be proven. You certainly don't want to put something out in the embedded space from a technology perspective that you're not sure isn't going to work all the time, every time. So for that reason, in my opinion, the technology tends to move very slowly. So when you do look at these application issues, they can point out the places where it does make sense to follow their designs. Hey, this worked really well. You may want to implement this in your design. Hey, this part is very challenging. You might want to be careful if you plan to implement this. Am I looking at this from the right perspective?
The result would be the same, but I would use a different argument. Number one, for me, technology is not moving so slowly. This might look to you because you're not working as an engineer. Second reason is, indeed, we, of course, have a lot of vertical events already. So there are automotive events, there are industrial events, and therefore we need to be careful not to compete too much against that, but keep our horizontal view as a main view. But the outcome is identical to what you said.
Yeah, and to be fair, my point of reference was comparing to something like consumer technology, where every few months there's a new generation of a device. Whereas in the embedded space, it might be once a year where a new revision rolls out. That was really what I was referring to.
Yeah, it always can be faster. That's absolutely true. I mean, we also should be clean in that sense that also in those spaces where speed seems to be higher, it's not always major revisions, but also can be minor updates, just scalability, so to say, which is difficult enough. Don't get me wrong. But if we look into the large part of our world, which is still analog, we are still moving at a rapid pace, no doubt.
Very fair. And the other piece of this discussion that we didn't even mention that has a lot to do with the speed is the security. You can't roll out a product that you're not sure is 100% secure. And that's another reason why we just need to go at the proper pace.
I don't like to say that something that you made a wrong statement, but nothing is 100% secure. Number one, you can't measure security. Number two, nothing is 100% secure. We need to find a reasonable compromise between the efforts and the result. Obviously, currently, security is a second hot topic together with embedded AI, both driven by global events and global endangerment. And of course, also driven by legal requirements. On the European side, we have the Cyber Resilience Act, which poses or imposes significant load onto the companies, and everybody, and I really can say everybody, is pretty nervous about introducing the security conformant to the Cyber Resilience Act, and of course also looking very nervous into the reviews that will be done. So currently it's a very hot topic, very important, both for real reasons and for legal reasons, which of course are also real.
Very good. Well, thank you very much, Axel. I don't want to keep you any longer. I know how busy you are this week, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, see you, Rich. Fine.
That was Axel Sikora. He is the chairman of the Embedded World Technical Conference, and I'm Rich Nass with Embedded Computing Design.